Welcome students. Today we are here to study digital image processing. This is an elective paper of 4th year 7th semester having the subject code EC703A. Myself Kaushik Pal, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. Today we will continue the fundamentals of image compression techniques. So in the previous class we have gone through these several points. So these points are we have already discussed. We will just recapitulate them. The first point is what is image compression. Image compression is the process by which we can reduce the size of the image to store more number of images in the memory location. Why image compression is required? Image compression reduces the size of the image. So if we want to transmit some images, or if we want to store some images, then image compression plays a very important role to give us the trade-off between the quality of the image and the size of the image. If you want to store more number of images with a less quality, then image compression techniques are used. So this is a very important key stages of digital image processing. So image compression is nowadays very much popular, as because we used to take lots of digital images and we want to store them for future purpose or for future days, and also we want to display them or we want to transmit them through different type of social media apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, Gmail, or different types of social medias. So that's why image compression is a very important stage in digital image processing. We have also discussed lots of image compression types, image compression fundamentals, and we have given some examples, or we have taken some images, some pictorial representations, and we have discussed them, the difference between the uncompressed image and the compressed image, and how they looks like and what is the basic difference between them. So all of this we have already discussed. We will start the new session today having the new topics. So here we can see two images. Do you find any difference between them? At a glance, if we just see, we cannot distinguish them very clearly. But if we take a time and see these two pictures and to find out the difference between them, we can definitely find out some differences. What is the difference? The images in the left side is much more clear than the image is in the right side. The image in the left side has much more details than the image in the right side. So both these two images are of the same bird or the same object, but they are not same. So first image is the original image or uncompressed image, and the image in the right side is the compressed image. So if we want to find out the difference between these two, we have to see these two images very carefully. Then only we can find out the difference, because here the right side images is being compressed than the first one. So here the right side image is the compressed image of the original image, which we can see at the left side. Here another examples has been given. First image is of size 270 kilobyte, and the image at the right side is the compressed image of the first image having size 22 kilobyte, only 22 kilobyte. So if we take an example, without compression, if a CD can store 200 pictures or 8-second movie, so by compression we can definitely store more number of pictures. So from here we can have some idea about the image compression. So image compression is the process by which we can reduce the size of the input image to the output. So this is one of the very important steps of digital image processing, by which we can reduce the size of the image. We have to keep in mind there is two terms. One is the dimension of the image, another is the size of the image. What is the dimension of the image? The dimension of the image is the length and the width of the image. That means how the image looks like. But the size of the image means how the image is occupying in the memory location, or what is the size of the image that can be defined how it is occupying memory space. So more memory space will require for uncompressed image, whereas for compressed image, as the size is being reduced, the less amount of memory will require to store them. So if we have more number of pictures to store in a limited memory location, we require this type of image compression technique. So by image compression we can reduce the size of the image. It is clear to us now. Why compression is required? Now consider the transmission of video images, which is nothing but the collections of several still images where we need multiple frames per second. If we consider just 1 second of video data that has been digitized at 640 multiplied by 480 pixel per frame and requiring 15 frames per second for this video, then waiting 35 seconds for 1 second's worth of video is not exactly real time. So here we can see the examples. Even attempting to transmit uncompressed video over the high speed internet connections, which is impractical. So here for this example we can see, to transmit this type of video, image compression is essential and it's must. Here we can see image compression general models. So different types of image compressions models are there. We will discuss them later on, but here we will discuss the image compression models, which is very much general. So here we can see some images has been given at the input, and that particular image has been represented through the image function fxy. So here fxy is the uncompressed image function, and f prime xy is the image function represented by the compressed image. So first, the uncompressed fxy or the original image is used as the input and given to the source encoder. The output of this source encoder is given to the channel encoder. Again, the channel encoder output should be either transmitted through channel or it can be stored for future use or future references. And if we consider the stored images or the transmitted images, so that can be fed into the channel decoder first. So at the receiver side, the output of the channel decoder is again given to the source decoder to find out the corresponding images. So by this image compression model, we are getting the original image from the compressed image. So some of the image compression standards are here. One is JPEG, JPEG 2000 and GIF. The full form of JPEG is Joint Photographic Expert Group, which is based on discrete cosine transform or DCT. JPEG 2000 model, which is based on DWT or discrete wavelet transform, and the last one is GIF, which is also known as graphics interchange format, etc. So these are some compression standards which we will discuss. So data is not same or similar to information. Here we will discuss it again. Data and information are not synonymous terms. They are not at all same. Data is the means by which information is conveyed. Data compression aims to reduce the amount of data required to represent a given quantity of information while preserving as much information as possible. Image compression is an irreversible process. That means it is not reversible. If you compress the original image and don't keep it, so after this compression, if you use the uncompressed image, 100% original information cannot be retrieved, because compression technique means some loss will be there. So original image cannot be 100% recovered after this image compression process. Some transform used in image compression process are DCT and DWT, discrete cosine transform and discrete wavelet transform. So these two types of transformation techniques are used for image compression purpose. So here information versus data is given. Data means information plus redundant data. That means the information and redundant data both will give you the corresponding information. These are some steps which generally involves for compression techniques. So which is termed as compression steps. So first is input image, then it is fed to picture preparation. It is again given to another block which is picture processing, then quantization, and after that entropy encoding. The output of this entropy encoding block is compressed image. So the input image is being compressed through these 4 blocks. Here preparation means analog to digital conversion. That means all the images or all the signals generated from the natural sources are analog in nature. But if we want to convert that particular analog image to its equivalent digital images, different type of analog to digital converters are required. So here preparation means analog to digital conversion. Then processing. Transform data into a domain easier to compress. So we have to keep in mind that we have to process or transform the data into a particular domain where the compression process is much more easier. Then the quantization, reduce this precision at which the output is stored, and last is entropy encoding, which removes the redundant information in the resulting data stream. So the redundant information is being removed through this entropy encoding from the resulting data stream, which is very important for image compression purpose. Here two term is very important, which is lossy or lossless. So for image compression, lossy or lossless image compression is very much important. It is all about the resolution. Its resolution or features should be unchanged for human perception. Relative data redundancy RD of the first data set is RD equals to 1 minus 1 by CR, where CR is the compression ratio N1 by N2. N1 and N2 denotes the number of information carrying units in two data sets that represents the same information. Here in digital image compression, the basics data redundancies are coding redundancies, interpixel redundancies, and psychovisual redundancy. So these three redundancy is very much important in case of digital image compression techniques. Now, trade-off between the quality versus the compression. That means we have to keep in mind that quality and the compression both cannot be achieved together. Higher quality means less compression, higher compression means less quality. So they are inversely proportional. Lossless compression and lossy compression is very much important in case of image processing technique. So which image or where to use, when to use this lossless compression and lossy compression, that should be very much clear. That means if we require much better quality image and less compression, then lossless compression is used, where if we want to compress more but the quality is not so important, then this lossy compression technique is used. So here we can see that the size versus error plotting is there, where some of the lossy and some of the lossless plot has been given here. So lossless compression, this is also known as information preserving, which is original can be recovered exactly, higher quality and bigger in size. Whereas for lossy compression, only an approximation of the original image can be recovered, lower quality and smaller. So for the size, lossless compression, the size is bigger. For the lossy compression, size is smaller. For the image quality, for lossy compression, higher quality image will be there. For lossy compression, lower quality image will be there. For extracting the original image or to get back the original image, lossless compression, original can be recovered exactly. For lossy compression, original image cannot be get back exactly, but only an approximation of the original can be recovered here. So here an example has been given through an image, which is image compression lossy or lossless. Here we can see two images. First one is the original image. So after compressing, we are having some compact information for either storage or transmission. So to store more information or to require less bandwidth for transmission, we require this type of compact information, and that compact information can be obtained through image compression technique. So here we can see the original image and after compression the compact information. Now if we want to extract the image from the compact information, the reverse process is done, which is known as decompressing or decompression. Using decompression, if we done the lossless compression or lossy compression, the result will be different. That means if we done lossless compression, the original can be recovered, and if we use lossy compression, then approximation of the original image can be retrieved. So lossy compression will not give you the original or exact the original image, but the approximation of the original image. Whereas lossless compression technique, if we use for to develop the compact information, so for after decompression the original image can be easily obtained or retrieved. So here we can see an example for JPEG compression, Joint Photographic Expert Group, the full form or JPEG compression. This is a image compression standard. So here we can see four images. The first one is 75% compressed, the second one is 50%, the third one is 25%, and the last one is 10% compressed. So here we can see more compression. Here we can see that more compression, that means 10% compression means it's 10% remaining, so the size is 6 KB. So we can see more compression means less size and less compression means more size from this. Now data redundancies plays a very important role in case of data compression. Here compression algorithms are developed by taking advantage of the redundancy that is inherent in image data. Three types of redundancy can be categorized or can be explained here, which is coding redundancy, interpixel redundancy, psychovisual redundancy. Coding redundancy occurs when the data used to represent the image is not utilized in an optimal manner, whereas interpixel redundancy occurs because adjacent pixels tend to be highly correlated. In most images, the brightness levels do not change rapidly but change gradually. So all the pixels are close and the corresponding brightness level gradually change but not abruptly or rapidly. So that's why this interpixel redundancy occurs. Psychovisual redundancy occurs some information is more important to the human visual system than the other type of information. So in that case, this psychovisual redundancy plays a very important role. So lossy versus lossless compressions examples are there. Here in this table, most common lossy and lossless compression or compression techniques or standards are here. We can see for lossless, Hoffman coding, adaptive Hoffman coding, and Welch coding, run length encoding, arithmetic coding. So different types of codings are there, where for lossy we can see scalar quantization, vector quantization, transformation coding like discrete cosine transform, polynomial, wavelet, MPEG, JPEG, MP3. So these type of model based compressions are used, and this is the different lossy versus lossless compression technique. So different types of file formats are also very important, which is very important here. So we can see simplest way of storing image data is by using a 2D array of pixel collections. This is referred to as the bitmap image. So pixel intensities, collections of pixel intensities can be stored, which is also known as bitmap image or BMP image. Another way of encoding the images is to use vector graphics, where the image is stored as a collection of vectors. Popular file formats are listed below, which is GIF, full form graphics interchange format, JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group, PNG, Portable Network Group, DICOM, Digital Imaging and Communication, which is very important in case of biomedical images, SVG, Vector Graphics File Format, TIFF, Tagged Image File Format. So these are some popular file formats which are being used to store image information. information. GIF uses lossless compression, LZW technique. Quality of image is very high. It supports 256 colors, that is 8-bit color. File is smaller in size, has good compression and is good in displaying flat color areas. Also supports animation, can store multiple images, and using timing information can be built animations where multiple static images play continuously, creating the illusions of motion. JPEG, used for storing continuous tone images, provides lossy and lossless compression. Used DCT and DWT technique for compression. Common format for storing and transmitting photographic images on the World Wide Web or internet. Next one is PNG, specially designed for the web supporters, grayscale or RGB images, designed for transmitting images on the internet, supports transparency, and this type of one useful features of PNG is built-in text capabilities for image indexing, allowing storage of text within the file itself. DICOM, popular format in medical imaging, contains image data and also metadata such as patient details, equipments and acquisition details. So it's very important in case of biomedical field. As I already mentioned, it provides many communication standards. Next one is SVG, which is a vector graphics file format that enables 2D images to be displayed on the web. So this SVG is also very important. This is scalable to the size of the viewing window and adjust in size and resolution according to the window in which they are displayed. The next one is TIFF, a flexible file format supporting a variety of image compression standards including JPEG, JPEG LS, JPEG 2000s and others. So all these image compression standards easily supported by TIFF image file. So this is nothing but the compression tree. That means image compression is under this compression technique. So if we categorize compression technique, it can be either image compression or video compression. So video compressions are in the right side and in the left side, that is image compression. So image compression can be categorized into lossless compression or lossy compression. Some examples of lossy compression techniques is JPEG, JPEG 2000, and some examples of lossless compression is PNG, TIFF, like that. So here we can see the compression standards along with the general encoding flow of the image compression. First, the original image is given, then reduce the correlation between pixels. After that, it is fed to the quantization, then quantization to entropy coding, then it should be transmitted through a bit stream. So this is the general encoding flow of the image compression. Compression ratio, this is a very important factor. Compression is measured in compression ratio denoted by compression ratio N is given by uncompressed file size divided by compressed file size, which is also represented by CR. If an example has been given, so if the original image size is 256 multiplied by 256 pixels, 8 bits per pixels grayscale image has been considered here. So the file size is 65536 bytes, that means 64 KB in size. After compression, the image file is 6554 bytes. So the compression ratio is given by N equals to 65536 divided by 6554, or the compression ratio is here as given 10. So these are the different applications areas for image compression techniques, broadcast televisions. So all the program that has been transmitted or broadcasted to television uses this image compression technique. For remote sensing via satellite, that also use image compression process. Now another very important, which is military communication via radar, sonar, teleconferencing, computer communication, facsimile transmission, medical images in computer tomography, magnetic resonance MRI, magnetic resonance imaging MRI, satellite images, these geological surveys, weather maps. So these all are the different fields or different areas. They all uses this type of image compression technique. So image compression technique is very important, and they play a very important role in all these applications area. So these are very. So students, if we want to have the idea what we have studied today, so then these are the points which we have already discussed. Now we will try to recapitulate them. So first we have gone through that why image compression is required and what is the importance of that. That means if we use image compression, the size can be reduced of the image and more number of images can be stored or more number of images can be transmitted. We have discussed about the image compression general models using several type of block diagrams. We have given uncompressed image as the input, and after several blocks we have also obtained the output images, which is compressed images. We have also discussed the relative comparison between the information and the data. So that has been mentioned here, information versus data. We also discussed about the trade-off between quality and the compression. That means more quality will give less compression and more compression will give us less quality. So quality and compression both cannot be achieved together. Higher quality if we require, then the compression cannot be done so widely, and if we want to do more compression, then the quality cannot be very good. Then we have discussed about the redundancies, data redundancies. Then we have also discussed the lossy versus lossless compression, different type of measures, different type of outputs, and with different type of properties, with some pictorial representation has been discussed for lossy and lossless compression technique. Then different type of file formats with their extensions like JPG, BMP, TIFF, PNG. So lots of file formats and their properties has been discussed here. Then we have also discussed different types of image and video compression techniques, and there is a very important term which we have also discussed, which is known as image compression ratio. Image compression ratio gives us the idea about the quality and the compression of the image. And last of all, we have discussed different types of areas where the image compression is applied. That means the application areas of image compression techniques. So hope students you have understood. In the next class we will try to go further. Thank you very much.